Understanding vaccines, a story of protection and hope. When you hear the word vaccine, what comes to mind? Perhaps a needle, a doctor's office, or even heated debates on the news. But behind that single word lies a story filled with courage, discovery, and a fight against invisible enemies that once ruled the world. To understand vaccines, we must travel back in time, meet the pioneers, and see how science, trust, and global teamwork shaped one of humanity's greatest defenses. The world before vaccines. Imagine living in the 1700s. Diseases like smallpox, measles, and polio stalked towns and villages. Smallpox alone killed millions and left survivors scarred or blinded. Parents feared losing half their children before adulthood. Doctors were powerless, communities helpless. The world desperately needed a weapon, and eventually one was found. The birth of the first vaccine. The story begins with Edward Jenner, an English doctor in the late 18th century. Jenner noticed something curious. Milkmaids, who caught cowpox, a mild disease from cows, almost never got smallpox. This gave him an idea. What if cowpox could protect people? In 1796, Jenner performed a bold experiment. He scratched material from a cowpox sore into the arm of a young boy, James Phipps. Weeks later, Jenner exposed the boy to smallpox. James did not fall ill. He was safe. Jenner's discovery was the world's first vaccine. The word itself comes from vacca, Latin for cow. His idea spread slowly at first, but it laid the foundation for modern immunology. Humanity finally had a tool to fight back. How do vaccines work? To understand vaccines, think of your body as a castle and germs as invaders. The immune system is the army defending the walls. But armies fight better when they've trained before the real battle. A vaccine works like a practice drill. Scientists use a harmless piece of a virus or bacterium, maybe a weakened germ, a dead one, or just a fragment. When this enters the body, your immune system trains its soldiers, antibodies and memory cells. Later, if the real virus attacks, your immune system is ready. It recognizes the invader instantly, launches a quick defense, and often defeats it before you even notice. In simple words, vaccines don't make you weak. They make you stronger, prepared for battles you might never see. Marching through history. After Jenner, progress was steady. In the 1800s, Louis Pasteur developed vaccines for rabies and anthrax. In the 20th century, Jonas Salk and Albert Sabin created polio vaccines, saving countless children from paralysis. Smallpox, the terror of centuries, was declared completely wiped out in 1980. Thanks to global vaccination campaigns, the only human disease ever fully eradicated. Other vaccines soon followed: measles, mumps, rubella, tetanus, diphtheria, whooping cough, and more. Each one turned deadly killers into preventable illnesses. What once filled graveyards became rare or forgotten. Can we trust vaccines? Trust is a big question. Some worry, if a vaccine is made from a virus, won't it give me the disease? The answer is no. Modern vaccines are designed to be safe. And trust isn't just about scientists in labs. Powerful checks exist. In the US, the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, oversees approval. In Europe, it's the European Medicines Agency, EMA. Globally, the World Health Organization, WHO, monitors safety and coordinates vaccination programs. These bodies demand years of trials before any vaccine is used, and they continue to monitor safety after approval. Another common fear began with a 1998 study that claimed the MMR measles, mumps, rubella vaccine caused autism. That study was later proven fraudulent, retracted, and its author lost his medical license. Yet the myth still lingers, feeding vaccine hesitancy. This shows why trust must rest on proven science, not rumors. Herd immunity, fire breaks against disease. Vaccines protect individuals, but also communities. Think of a forest fire. If there's a wide fire break with no trees, the flames cannot spread. Similarly, if enough people are immune, a disease has nowhere to go. This is called herd immunity. For some diseases, like measles, at least 95% of the population must be vaccinated to keep outbreaks away. If too many skip vaccination, the fire break shrinks, and diseases return. That's why your decision to vaccinate protects not just you, but also newborn babies, the elderly, and people with weak immune systems. The economic and social impact. Vaccines do more than save lives, they save societies. The World Bank estimates that every dollar spent on vaccines can return many times more in saved healthcare costs and productivity. Healthy children can go to school without constant risk. Parents can work without fear of losing wages to illness. Communities thrive when disease is not constantly breaking families apart. Simply put, vaccines are not just medical tools. They are engines of stability and progress. A modern frontier. The COVID-19 pandemic introduced the world to mRNA vaccines, a technology decades in the making. Instead of using pieces of a virus, these vaccines deliver instructions that let your body create a harmless fragment, which trains the immune system. But this is not just for COVID. Scientists are testing mRNA vaccines for influenza, malaria, HIV, and even certain cancers. The vaccine story is still being written, with possibilities once thought impossible now on the horizon. Global access and equity. Yet not everyone has equal access. In many low-income countries, vaccines are still scarce. This is where organizations like Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, step in. Working with WHO, UNICEF, and governments, they deliver life-saving vaccines to children who would otherwise be left behind. The fight against disease is not only about science, it is also about fairness, reaching every corner of the world. Conclusion: a gift across generations. The story of vaccines is not just about chemistry or biology. It is about survival, courage, and shared responsibility. From Jenner's cowpox experiment to global campaigns, vaccines have rewritten history. They turned deadly epidemics into fading memories. So when you roll up your sleeve for a shot, you are part of a story centuries long. You are joining hands with generations who fought for a safer world. Vaccines are shields of hope, built from knowledge, guarded by trust and shared across the globe.
It's time to study new words in context. 1. Stalk. Definition: to follow, pursue, or spread quietly and threateningly, often causing fear or harm. In literature, diseases or dangers are sometimes said to stalk people as if they were predators. Example: in the 18th century, smallpox stalked villages, leaving fear in every household. 2. Immunology. Definition: the branch of medical science that studies the immune system, including how the body defends itself against disease. Example: Edward Jenner's discovery of vaccination became the foundation of modern immunology. 3. Bacterium. Definition: a very small, single-celled organism, some of which cause disease, while others are helpful to humans and nature. Example: the bacterium that causes tuberculosis spreads easily from one person to another. 4. Antibodies. Definition: special proteins made by the immune system that recognize and attack harmful germs, such as viruses or bacteria. Example, after receiving a vaccine, your body produces antibodies that can fight the real disease later. 5. Anthrax. Definition: a serious infectious disease caused by the bacterium Bacillus anthracis, which can affect animals and humans. Example, Louis Pasteur developed one of the first vaccines to protect against anthrax in farm animals. 6. Eradicated. Definition: completely destroyed, removed, or wiped out, especially in reference to diseases. Example, smallpox was officially declared eradicated in 1980, ending centuries of suffering. 7. Mumps. Definition: a contagious viral illness that causes painful swelling in the cheeks and jaw area, and sometimes leads to complications. Example, before vaccines, many children missed weeks of school after catching mumps. 8. Rubella. Definition: a mild, but contagious viral disease, also called German measles, which can be dangerous to unborn babies if mothers are infected during pregnancy. Example, the rubella vaccine helps prevent birth defects caused by the disease. 9. Whooping cough. Definition: a highly contagious respiratory disease, also known as pertussis, that causes violent coughing fits followed by a whooping sound. Example, whooping cough once killed many infants, but vaccines have greatly reduced its spread. 10. Autism. Definition: a developmental condition that affects communication, behavior, and social interaction, usually beginning in early childhood. Example, some parents once feared vaccines caused autism, but this claim was proven false. 11. Fraudulent. Definition: based on deception, dishonesty, or false information, often meant to mislead people. Example, the 1998 study linking vaccines to autism was fraudulent and later discredited. 12. Retracted. Definition: withdrawn, taken back, or removed, usually referring to a statement, publication, or promise. Example, the fraudulent medical study was retracted by the journal that had published it. 13. Herd immunity. Definition: a form of protection that occurs when enough people in a community are immune to a disease, making it difficult for the disease to spread. Example, measles outbreaks can be prevented when a community reaches herd immunity, usually at around 95% vaccination coverage.
Comprehension questions. 1. Who is considered the father of vaccines and why? Answer: Edward Jenner, because in 1796 he used cowpox to protect a boy from smallpox, creating the world's first vaccine. 2. What does the word vaccine come from? Answer: it comes from vacca, the Latin word for cow, since Jenner's work began with cowpox. 3. What was the world like before vaccines? Answer: deadly diseases like smallpox, measles, and polio spread widely, killing millions and leaving survivors with scars, blindness, or paralysis. 4. How do vaccines train the immune system? Answer: by introducing a harmless piece of a germ, weakened, killed, or just a fragment, which teaches the immune system to recognize and fight the real disease later. 5. What analogy does the article use to describe how vaccines work? Answer: the body is like a castle, the immune system is its army, and vaccines are training drills to prepare soldiers before the real battle. 6. Which two scientists developed vaccines for polio in the 20th century? Answer: Jonas Salk and Albert Sabin. 7. What disease became the first and so far only to be completely eradicated worldwide thanks to vaccines? Answer: smallpox, eradicated in 1980. 8. Which organizations oversee the safety and approval of vaccines? Answer: the FDA in the United States, the EMA in Europe, and the WHO globally. 9. What happened to the 1998 study that linked the MMR vaccine to autism? Answer: it was proven fraudulent, retracted, and the author lost his medical license. 10. What is herd immunity? Answer: when enough people in a community are vaccinated that a disease cannot easily spread. Protecting even those who are unvaccinated. 11. What analogy is used to explain herd immunity? Answer. A fire break. Like clearing trees to stop a forest fire from spreading, vaccinated people block the spread of disease. 12. About what percentage of people need to be vaccinated against measles to achieve herd immunity? Answer. About 95%. 13. How do vaccines impact the economy and society? Answer. They save billions in healthcare costs, prevent lost work and school time, and allow societies to function more safely and productively. 14. What new vaccine technology became widely known during the COVID-19 pandemic? Answer. mRNA vaccines. 15. Besides COVID-19, what other diseases are scientists researching mRNA vaccines for? Answer. Influenza, malaria, HIV, and certain cancers. 16. What organization works to ensure vaccines reach low-income countries? Answer. Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance. 17. What role does the WHO play in global vaccination? Answer. The WHO monitors safety, coordinates vaccination campaigns, and works to ensure access worldwide. 18. Why can't vaccines give you the disease they protect against? Answer. Because they only use killed germs, weakened germs, or harmless pieces that cannot cause illness. 19. What is one example of a mild side effect of vaccines? Answer. Soreness at the injection site, mild fever, or tiredness. 20. What is the overall message of the article? Answer. Vaccines are a story of courage, science, and global teamwork. They protect individuals and communities, save lives, and represent a gift of hope across generations.